our next speaker, would you please put your hands together for Richard Thresh?
I believe I don't need it, so therefore I don't. I think that's the lesson we have to take from today. I'm always minded when I do these things of the advice that I give my children when they're standing at their assembly. Be bright and blessed. Be loud, exaggerate. You don't have to mean it, it's an act. And it works. Speak slowly. So slowly you think you're exaggerating. And don't talk to the slides. I haven't got slides. I think everybody gets to the point of having death by PowerPoint. I rebel against it. I've been doing presentations of various sorts for too many decades, and I'm bored of it too. I've also noticed that if you give someone a PowerPoint pack, they think, oh, I don't have to listen, I can take it home and read it later. So, sorry about the volume. I might shy away from it. I won't say, Dawkins A little bit of history. We've had a little bit of success, Kim and I. That was Kim's business, even though it's Kim and I. And Kim, as you probably know, was active in Clean Easy for several years. And we had a very pleasant and very helpful upline who sadly was extremely ill and died some years ago. But our leg up to the business was a small part of her customer base. That gave us our start. But from talking to many of you and others who aren't here today, I find that there's a lot of us who've got that leg up, whether it's ex-Clean Easy customers or having done Avon or done something else in the community, or a large set of friends and social media friends who you can tap into and interact with. And we each have a different story, but somehow we seem to manage to begin to build that customer base that we all need what we do. So what we've got is a few observations, I think, from our experience, some of which have already been said. And I should say, Michael, we've got several speakers today, and I did think earlier yesterday that actually the first person might say everything in the fifth person's presentation. So I've got enough for about an hour and a half, and I'll cut it down to miss out the bits that Ali's already shared. Like many of us, like many of the company, we have other incomes, and certainly for us, it wouldn't work if I didn't work full time. Now, we're all very enthusiastic, that's why we're here. But for most of us, it isn't going to completely pay the mortgage. It isn't going to run the car. It isn't going to raise the children. Particularly with prices going up and the cost of living crisis. So I think we have to accept that for many of us, it's not going to be our primary income. So I'm a full-time planning consultant. I'm happy for more years than I want to remember. So it's not what colour can I paint my porch, but how many tens of thousands of houses can we build in this area. That's it. But actually the skill of planning works well in the business, because failing to plan is planning to fail. There you go. First one of the day. That was simple. So I work full time, luckily at home. In fact, I work at Hinkley, even though we live in Cheshire. But Kim runs the business. Kim runs VivaMK. It's her baby. We joined together because it was something we wanted to do together. And I think there was something about if there are prizes we both win. It's not happening yet. So it's a very useful business for us, for our circumstances. I'm at home all day. If needs be, I can be there to fight with boxes from DVD. Kim's out delivering, putting out orders. Kim's out putting out catalogues with whichever of our children could be persuaded to help any given time, or answer university or as they do. And we've kind of created a pattern which works for us, and everybody's story is different. But what what I have found is there are commonalities. So we had a bit of dumb luck in that we inherited 400 customers. Less than that. We've got most of them off now. In fact, many of them died. So, you said that. You know, there was a point just after lockdown when we felt we were doing social service. Because we were the only people that the customers spoke to a week's request, and they bought from us just to make sure we came back. I don't know how I feel about that. Ethically, that feels a bit fortunate. Many of them are dying. We've had customers we didn't realise were over 100, and then suddenly the catalogue's not on the doorstep, and then you realise. So we're actually focusing now on something different and trying to pick areas where there'll be a younger customer base with mixed. So these few lessons, a bit of dumb luck helps, circumstances helps. We're not all that different. Nuance in society. Know your limits is one thing that was really important, and Alex raised a little bit of that. Only set out to do what you think you can realistically achieve. It's not enough to believe you can do it. It's not enough to fake in the products of a company or yourself. You actually have to have the opportunity, the time, the resources, the transport, the will to do, the knowledge to do that. Now, some of these things you can change. The knowledge, you can go out and learn things. The will, you can generate, you can talk yourself into things. Resources, enough money to put things in the car to run around and deliver stuff. The time, hang on, how am I going to fetch so-and-so from school and do that, and run a household? You have to be realistic. So my personal take from that is you really need to be ambitious, but know your limits. Don't think you're going to get a full-time salary by 18 months' time, because it might not happen. Be realistic. We all have everyday dramas that put us back. You just have to build that into the plan and accept that that's the way it's going to be. So the way we approach it is we make very gradual change. We don't say, you know, what we need is about 500 customers in the customer base. Let's order 1,000 catalogues and put them out next week. Because we know we can't cope with the workload. We don't want to cope with the workload. And I can't walk very far at the moment until the hip operation takes place. So we just make them incremental. So maybe a £500 increase in our average monthly customer sales, and have it targeted and review when we do or don't get there, what works, what doesn't. 2, 3 new streets blanket drop each month. We don't take the Lloyd approach and go and blanket huge efforts. We take our existing areas and say, do you know, we've never done that street, or we haven't done that street for 4 years. Look, let's do that cul-de-sac, that's 35 houses, that'll do it. Just add that onto that run, and we take some more incremental approaches. If that works for us, also we do. And we do simple, tangible things. It takes a bit of persuasion sometimes, but I tell kids to program in not to do it, because you'll burn out if you do it all day, every day. It's just not long term, it's not practical. You've got a life, you've got a family, you've got a home. You need to do other things as well. If you have the luxury of having another income, also, you're working all day, don't spend all evening, every evening, putting together a catalogue. Yeah. You'll burn out. You'll burn out. If it's 11 o'clock and you're still putting together packs and snapping sold out. Right, keep your eye on the prize. Someone, I can't recall who, Michael, said retail is king. Is that right? Retail is king. Well, VivaMK works because we're a happy family and we all love each other, basically. And it flourishes because of profit from turnover. It's a business. It allows us, the partners, to develop our own businesses, but it's income from sales. So we need to keep your eye on that prize. Social media reactions don't equate to sales. You can be the most popular person on Instagram. Doesn't mean you're going to get sales from them. It might help. It'll raise profile, but you need those sales. Recruiting lots of downliners won't create income. They don't do anything. They don't sell anything. They don't put through sales. You don't benefit. You don't put through sales. You won't benefit from their sales. Retailers did. We're all about selling stuff. I'm contrary. I'm sorry. I'm getting curmudgeon there as I get older. You look down. I'm getting curmudgeon as I go. I don't believe in the products. That's not the way I approach things. The cynic in me said when we were in Clean Easy, you were selling things that people didn't need, but that they couldn't afford. But that's fine, as long as they thought they needed it and we could afford it. It was absolutely fine. It's about selling products. So, cynic that I am, keep your eye on the price. It's about making sales. So there's a lot of fluff that goes on around it. All metal. I quite like the VivaMK world, by the way, Michael. I haven't picked up on that, haven't you? I'll change your middle, please. So we also experiment. Have a think about what might work for you. We canvass a street that we normally use. We offer card payments. That works really well, but I recommend it if no one's done it. There's various ones, some up, it's been great. We do little things. We learn how to create QR codes so people can photograph them with their phones. I did one for the bank account details of people who wanted to pay by direct donation. We took an effort to target different types of housing we haven't done before. So we do just retirement bungalows or new estates or social housing or big houses and actually try and experiment and see what happens. Do a street at a time, see what works. We reflect. We sit back now and again and say, that didn't work, why didn't it work? Is it because it was a bad idea? Should we keep doing it? Should we try it again? Should we do something different? We take time to step back and reflect, but that's a part of the planning process. You don't need 25 pie charts and analysis. The map with circle group you've got to do. Sorry, let's say that out now. You don't need to take a business approach. You don't need to act like your corporate businessman. You just need to understand what works for you. Talk it through with the people you trust, whether it's your team, your partners, your family, Michael, HQ, whatever, to understand what you need to do. Share. Share with each other. Shout at each other over the music. Make yourself understood. Talk to each other. Don't care about whose team you're in, whether you're a Sparkle or Elf or exchange ideas. We do it all the time. We offer people our experience and say, well, you can try this. Here's a standard letter we create. It doesn't matter. We're all in it together. Let's act as a big team. Talk to your friends, to your family, to your upline, to your customers, colleagues. Right. Two short bits. One is see other people's perspective. Think about your customers. Think about their needs. You said it, and I said it. Let them know when you're coming. Let them be certain. Don't let them think, oh, I might not get a book for another month. If they know they get 1 and 2 books a month or 1 book every 3 months, they'll know once they're your customers how often they can expect you to be there, and that you will deliver on the day that you've said you will deliver. Or you'll contact them to say, I'm sorry, I can't do it because of X, Y, Z, it's this day. Okay. It really works for us just to keep that close contact. And some customers who were occasional orders have become regular orders simply because they can. Be nice to HQ. And we need them as much as they need us. We can't do what we do without their help and guidance. So be nice to HQ and not just the dog. Final point, other perspectives are also available. Not everybody's experience is our experience. And some of the things that I feel about the way the business works for us don't necessarily match what others do. Do your own thing. Understand what you do. Do it with good reason, not just because that's what you've always done.